Hello, everyone. Welcome to another Spirit Flow with Crow. I just wanted to talk about the journey we went on. It's about 2 weeks now. I'm still reflecting on it. It was a big unload of spirit, of ego, of illusion self, of a revamp of who I am. And what I wanted to say was, first of all, it was a big family. So it was me, my sister, little sister Soph, my dad, and Nancy. They all came on this wonderful journey. And I wanted to touch on some of the things that we learned. So one of the big things we learned was, I'm going to start going into little categories. So the first one was balance. How do you keep balance in your life? So every day when you wake up, every morning, you are balanced as a human, because when you're in the sleep world, when you're in spirit world, everything that happened to you in the previous day becomes leveled and renewed. So when you awake perfectly balanced. Unless, of course, you have a nightmare or something. But let's say on an average day you wake up and you're balanced. And as things happen during your daily life, your balance slowly kilters. It goes one way or the other. And what our goal is to inject the scales with love and to bring balance. So there's a couple different ways to balance. So when you were born, you made a commitment to yourself to become part of your own truest, badass, conscious self. And what happens during life is that it's a mind warp, it's a shade shift that happens, and you lose that commitment. And so later in life, you kind of step back into that commitment. So our goals in this life experience is to step back into the commitment of being balanced and being conscious. The most straight up form of balance is symmetrical balance. So it's equal weights and measures. So let's say you're feeling sad and depressed, go outside, create things, get grounded, inject love, listen to a song. So whatever is dragging you down, you create another thing over here in order to bring up or bring down in order to get balance, so that your love cup can overfill and you can help other people and you can help yourself. So the most straight up one is symmetrical. So if this is feeling bad, you do something over here and you balance out. The next one is asymmetrical balance, which is one large weight over here. You could use a bunch of different tiny little weights over here to balance it out. So let's say you have this big hole of, there's something that's bothering you in life. There's something that's bothering you in the way you're feeling, the way your emotions are coming out, the way of anger or loss, or as life happens, stuff happens. And so there's this big bubble of weight that can be over here. What you can do is do a bunch of small little things to bring that back in balance. So if there's this huge void of hurt and shame and just like a big ball of badness that it's been hanging around with you and you've been trying to hide from it or put it away and try to heal it, you can do a ton of different little micro stuff in order to bring that weight up. So you could do like, start eating healthy, start working out, go outside, do meditations, journals, read affirmations, take steps towards your passions, take steps towards a better life, spread more love into your body and who you are, and do lots of little incremental things in your life that help lift this huge void weight. So a bunch of 1% things that you can do around the house, around your body, around your spirit, around your mind. If you do a bunch of these little things, like put the phone down for a little bit, go to a workout, read something inspirational, read something good, do something that makes you forget about time and in your phone, and listen to music that inspires you. Basically, if you do a bunch of these little tiny things, it'll lift the big heavy thing the big void, all these little things will lift it and create balance. And so that's another way to create balance. Let's see here. The next one, 3. Positive and negative space. Space is energy. There may be physical separation, but there is still energy in space. So it's the same kind of thing. It's like magnetism. There could be a negative and a positive. And so if there's a huge negative, you ionize the other side to bring balance back into it and create a perfect balance between the two magnets. So if there's a huge magnet over here and a little tiny one, it'll suck it right over to it. And so the way to equalize that is to create this magnet, the energy, the positive and negative space. So if this huge negative field's over here and you got this little tiny positive magnet, this magnet has no choice. It'll suck right into the negative, and negative will move the positive energy around and just make it its bitch. Sorry. But another way this is also balancing. So in order to make negative space become less, create a big positive energy field. So when it comes into each other, they meld and they become centered and balanced. So you have to it's the same thing with the incremental things. So through your energy field, through your life, through the way you hold yourself and do your business, do your life, do the way you think and be, make sure that energy field is full and magnetized. So when your negative side comes out, I don't know why, but negative energy seems to have exponential growth and suckiness. So you got to make sure that you build a big energy field of love and truth and love and intention and serenity and divinity, that when the negative field builds itself, you have a counterpart so you can create balance. Because if your love field, your love positive side energy is huge and massive and solid, and you've been building it and you've been touching into it, it's your child self, the thing that has no attributes, is no ego, is no illusion self. If you've built this thing, this magical positive energy field, when the negative pops up, when something happens like a death in the family, a car accident, someone bugs you, a friend sends something ill will to you, when this negative field builds up, don't worry, because you're going to be in balance because of this big, awesome, badass, positive energy field is just floating here, and it's just going to make you feel like amazing. So make sure positive and negative energy, they can balance each other out or out of whack. So another thing is that if you build this positive stuff up too much and there's not enough negative polarity to it, that it could also be out of balance. So if you're living up here in the clouds and not dealing with any of this, and it becomes a small little ball, you're going to be out of balance too. So always remember that negative and positive energy have to flow together and be equally balanced. Otherwise, balance is one of the true gifts that we have to attain during this life. And so I challenge you to try to equalize your positive and negative fields. Wow. All right. And the last one to create balance is radial bounds. So this is the most important as human. It's a center point from which everything else expands from. Energy fields, circle of light, 0 point energy radiates from you. So this is the master level of balance. So you think of radial energy, it's like a centrifugal force of badass energy. So instead of thinking of balance in your life with emotions and feelings and things that happen to you, envision that there's a 0 point singularity inside you where your soul's eye is sitting. And that's, as soon as you balance that, all the other ways of balance happen naturally. You have to imagine, like, so when you're meditating or when you're thinking, when you're feeling unbalanced, if you're feeling wobbly or disenergetic, remember that the most important way to balance yourself is through radial balance. And that's where you go inside yourself, you get centered, you get grounded, and you spin the circle of radial force around you. And everything that happens, you do a circle that comes around yourself. And you balance yourself through centrifugal force. Through your energy field is creating a balanced circle around your being. So a way to attain this is through meditation or through doing things that you forget about time. So like going in nature, or going with a walk, or talking with family members, or dealing with different issues that you step through the narrow gate, and you can step into your centered radial balanced self. It's kind of like stepping into your spirit or listening to your intuition. When you do that, you create radial balance. And once you're in radial balance, there's very little things on this planet that can hurt or hinder your energy, your emotional field, your spirit side. Because once you're in radial balance form, it's like you have your own little force field, an energetic force field around you, that things happen to you, but you're so centered and so balanced that no matter what happens, negative or positive, it creates a yes, I can deal with this attitude. So something really horrible happens, like your house burns down. You're like, don't worry, I have insurance, I can rebuild it. Or hey, this is open as a new door, I can move, I can create a new life somewhere. And same thing on the positive side, if someone gives you crazy accolades or you do something really amazing and you become famous, it doesn't faze you because you know that you are balanced, you are amazing, badass, emotional, cool human. And once you engage that radial balance, the force field around yourself, that thing will ignite you and create paths that you never even know that you can even imagine happened. And it's going to be one of the hardest things in your life is creating balance. And so if you want to go master level radial balance, make sure you do lots of meditations. Make sure you write intentions with timelines. Make sure you do things right to your body. Make sure the intention of your life and your spirit, of your intuition, is in full love and awesomeness and good intentions. Don't judge people. Don't talk ill will about other humans. Hang out with friends that light your fire, that encourage you and make you go out of your comfort zone. Cut bad energy out of your life so that your balance, your radial balance, can fully, so your force field can be fully lit, and you could have 100% force field like in Star Trek, where where they're like, the shields are down to 10%. Don't be in situations or try to avoid situations where your shield gets knocked down. I know that's hard to do sometimes, where it's family members or situations that you get put into. But you could also, if there's friendships that drain you, that empty your cup, make more relationships that fill your cup. And in doing that, you create a stronger force field, the radial balance of your life. So that was one of the lessons. There's many more. I might just make this into one because there's so many lessons that happened on that journey. And this is one of the biggest lights that shone on me, was balance. So make sure you create balance in your life, however that happens. So one of the most difficult and easy things to do in your life is to create balance. And I wish that you have a balance-filled, amazing life. Have a good one, everybody. Woo-hoo! That was wow, Bobby. Oh, thank you. Namaste.